Right then, if you thought American politics had already reached its boiling point, think again. The latest developments out of Washington have managed to raise the temperature even further, sending shockwaves through the Capitol and across the nation. America's political stability is once again in chaos, and this time, it's not just a matter of partisan bickering or heated debates on cable news. We're witnessing a full-blown constitutional crisis, one with real-world consequence that could reshape the very foundation of American democracy. The air in Washington is thick with tension, uncertainty, and a sense that the rules of the game are being rewritten in real time. At the heart of the storm are 5 Democratic lawmakers, most of them decorated military veterans, now under investigation by the Department of Justice. Their alleged crime: advising active duty troops to refuse illegal orders, a move that, in another era, might have been seen as a principled stand for the rule of law. But in today's hypercharged climate, it's being painted as something far more sinister. What might sound like a basic civics lesson, reminding soldiers of their duty to the Constitution, has been twisted into accusations of sedition. President Trump, now back in office and wielding the full power of the executive branch, is calling for the harshest punishments imaginable. His rhetoric is fiery, his supporters are energized, and the opposition is scrambling to respond. The administration has wasted no time, launching formal inquiries and legal proceedings that have turned what began as a political disagreement into a high-stakes legal battleground. Courtrooms are filling with lawyers, judges, and journalists, all trying to make sense of a rapidly evolving crisis. The stakes couldn't be higher, as the outcome could set precedents for generations to come. Meanwhile, the military finds itself caught in the crossfire, torn between loyalty to the commander-in-chief and their sworn oath to uphold the Constitution. Officers and enlisted personnel alike are facing impossible choices, as the country is forced to confront the true limits of presidential power and the meaning of lawful obedience. This isn't just a Twitter spat or a war of words on cable news. This is the machinery of the state. Federal agents, prosecutors, and lawmakers being deployed against political opponents. The lines between justice and politics are blurring, and the consequences are rippling far beyond the halls of Congress. For ordinary Americans, the sense of unease is palpable. Families gather around their televisions, watching the headlines scroll by, wondering what tomorrow will bring. The nation is on edge, bracing for what could be a long and turbulent road ahead. Buckle up. This is a bumpy, alarming ride, and no one knows exactly where it will end. So, who are the people at the center of this storm? When we talk about the lawmakers at the heart of this controversy, we're not talking about fringe figures or political newcomers. These are individuals who have spent years, sometimes decades, serving their country in some of the most demanding and high-stakes environments imaginable. They're not just politicians, they're veterans, intelligence officers, and public servants who have built their reputations on loyalty, discipline, and a deep commitment to the nation's core values. They're not radicals, they're decorated veterans. Senator Alyssa Slotkin, Representatives Jason Crow, Maggie Goodlander, Chrissy Houlihan, and Chris DeLucio. Each of these lawmakers has a story that begins long before they ever set foot in Congress. They've served in combat zones, led intelligence operations, and made life-or-death decisions under pressure. Their backgrounds are as diverse as the country they represent, but they share a common thread, a willingness to put service above self and to defend the Constitution at all costs. Each has served in the military or intelligence community, giving them credibility and a deep understanding of the system. Their experience isn't just theoretical, it's practical, forged in the crucible of real-world events. They know what it means to lead, to follow orders, and to question authority when the stakes demand it. This unique perspective sets them apart from many of their peers in Congress, and it's a big part of why their message resonates so strongly with both the public and the military community. Their message was aimed at fellow service members, reminding them of their oath to the Constitution above any individual. In their public statements and the controversial video at the center of this debate, they emphasize that loyalty to the nation's founding principles must always come first. They called on current and former military personnel to remember the solemn promise they made, not to a person or a party, but to the enduring ideals of democracy and the rule of law. Senator Mark Kelly, former Navy pilot and astronaut, also appeared in the video and now faces Pentagon threats to his rank and pension. Kelly's career is a testament to service and sacrifice, from flying combat missions as a Navy pilot to commanding missions aboard the International Space Station. Now, he finds himself in the crosshairs of a political battle, with his military legacy and future benefits on the line. Kelly has filed a lawsuit calling the move political retribution. He argues that the actions taken against him are not just about one individual, but about sending a message to anyone who dares to speak out. The legal battle is shaping up to be a test case for the rights of veterans in public life, and it's drawing national attention to the broader issues at stake. These lawmakers aren't outsiders. They're insiders defending the military's integrity. They've walked the halls of power, served on key committees, and shaped national security policy. Their critics may try to paint them as troublemakers, but their records tell a different story. One of dedication, expertise, and a willingness to stand up for what they believe is right, even when it's unpopular. The accusations of sedition are extraordinary given their backgrounds. For men and women who have risked their lives for the country, to be accused of betraying it is a bitter irony. The charges have shocked many in Washington and beyond, raising questions about the boundaries of dissent and the meaning of patriotism in a polarized era. Their actions have ignited a political firestorm. The media is in a frenzy, politicians are taking sides, and the public is left to wonder what this means for the future of civil-military relations in America. The debate is about more than just a handful of lawmakers. It's about the soul of the nation and the principles that hold it together. The stakes couldn't be higher. As the controversy unfolds, the choices these lawmakers make and the consequences they face will shape not only their own futures, but the future of American democracy itself. The controversy began quietly, almost unexpectedly, in the midst of a tense and uncertain political climate. It started not with a grand speech or a dramatic event, but with a simple video that quickly spread across the nation's screens and social media feeds. In November 2024, in November 45, a short video message was released online. It was shared and reshared, gaining traction as Americans tried to make sense of the rapidly changing headlines. The video featured a group of lawmakers, their faces serious, their words carefully chosen. Speaking directly to the men and women of the United States military, these lawmakers issued a stark warning. They claimed that the Trump administration was placing service members in an impossible position, caught between loyalty to their commander-in-chief and their sworn oath to the Constitution. Their message was clear and direct. As members of the armed forces, you are not only allowed, but legally obligated, to refuse any order that is illegal or unconstitutional. This wasn't a call for insubordination, but a reminder of the military's duty to uphold the law above all else. This principle is a cornerstone of military law, taught from the earliest days of training. It's not about defiance or rebellion, it's about the rule of law and the responsibility every service member carries to protect the nation's democratic foundations. Yet the timing of this message could not have been more volatile. The country was already on edge, with protests erupting in cities and heated debates raging in Congress. The president's recent actions had sparked outrage and uncertainty, and the lawmakers' video poured fuel on an already blazing fire. For the lawmakers, the stakes were too high to remain silent. They believed the nation faced a clear and present danger, and that their duty as elected officials was to speak out, even if it meant risking political backlash or accusations of partisanship. They insisted that their intervention was an act of patriotism, not rebellion. In their view, defending the Constitution and the rule of law was the highest form of loyalty to the country, especially in a moment of crisis. The White House, however, saw things very differently. Officials there viewed the lawmakers' message as a direct challenge to presidential authority, a move that threatened to undermine the chain of command and sow discord within the ranks. With both sides digging in, the stage was set for a dramatic and unprecedented showdown, one that would test the limits of American democracy and the resolve of its institutions. Why did this video hit such a nerve? Trump's second term has been marked by aggressive use of military power, both abroad and at home. Airstrikes in the Caribbean and Pacific, and National Guard deployments in U.S. cities have drawn legal and public backlash. The Supreme Court blocked one such deployment, citing lack of evidence for a rebellion. The lawmakers saw a pattern, the president pushing the boundaries of lawful authority. Their warning was a response to what they saw as a looming constitutional crisis. For them, the alarm bells were ringing. President Trump's response was immediate and incendiary. On Truth Social, he accused the lawmakers of sedition, punishable by death. The DOJ, led by Trump loyalists, launched a formal investigation. The Department of Defense targeted Senator Kelly, threatening his rank and pension. Supporters argued the lawmakers were encouraging insubordination. Critics saw blatant political intimidation. The administration's actions sent a chilling message to dissenters. The country's divisions deepened, with constitutional law now a political weapon. The lawmakers faced not just political, but legal peril. The stakes had never been higher. Under fire, the lawmakers didn't back down. They took to social media, defending their actions as protected speech and a duty to the Constitution. Representative Crow called the DOJ investigation an intimidation tactic. Houlihan insisted they were being punished for telling the truth. Their defense: reminding troops of their legal obligations isn't a crime, it's patriotism. Senator Kelly's lawsuit challenges the Pentagon's actions as unconstitutional retribution. These lawmakers argue they're preserving the military's political nature. They're forcing a national debate on where military loyalty should lie. Their stand could cost them their careers, or more. At the heart of this crisis is a timeless question. What if a soldier is given an illegal order? The military runs on obedience, but the law requires refusal of unlawful commands. The Nuremberg trials established that just following orders is no defense for illegal acts. The Uniform Code of Military Justice makes this clear, but the line between lawful and unlawful can be blurry, especially in the fog of politics. The lawmakers' video was a reminder of this duty. Supporters say it's a vital check on power. Critics call it dangerous. The conscience of the soldier is now a national battleground. Legally, this is a clash of principles. The administration accuses the lawmakers of sedition, inciting rebellion within the military. Legal experts doubt the video meets that standard. The lawmakers claim First Amendment protection for political speech. Senator Kelly's case is unique. As a retired officer, he's still subject to military law, but court-martialing a sitting senator is unprecedented. Kelly argues the Pentagon is abusing its power for political ends. The outcome will set a precedent for the limits of free speech and executive power. The nation is watching closely. The crisis has exposed a fundamental struggle over the military's role in American democracy. Lawmakers say they're defending the Constitution. The president calls it sedition. Trust has broken down at the highest levels, leaving service members in an impossible position. The question: what happens if the commander-in-chief gives an illegal order? This isn't just theory, it's a real test of the nation's values and institutions. The answer will shape the future of American democracy. The stakes could not be higher.